Welcome to Tobar's Realm. Today I think I'm going to start restoring our old Wilton vise. This has been in our barn my entire life, and I destroyed a lot of Hot Wheel cars with it when I was a kid, which was probably 40 years ago. And it's seen quite a lot of work. A lot of hacksaw marks and stuff in it, but I'm gonna take it apart and clean it up and use it in my garage instead of leaving it out in the barn. And when I say restore, this isn't instructional. I'm actually watching another video that's going step by step for me, but I just wanted to document how mine turns out. So it's in good overall shape. It just needs some TLC. So I'm just going to start by backing this all the way off till that outer jaw comes off. Take it over to the work table and get this taken apart. Alright, so next I guess you just take these 3 retaining screws out that hold that screw in. So go ahead and do that. Alright, set this aside and then get these jaw dies out. Alright, finally got the second screw out. That was pretty tough. I used the chisel to kind of make the Phillips head a little bit better, as it instructed in the video I'm watching, which I'll leave a link in the description of this one, where if you want to watch somebody who actually knows what they're doing. That one got pretty mangled. Have to get some new ones. Alright, well, I took the base off just by removing those adjustment bolts. The little twisty handles here, I just unscrewed those all the way out and took the base off. Now we gotta take this cover off the back. You should be able to just stick a thing down the middle here and tap it out of there. Let's see. Put some WD-40 on it last night, so hopefully it comes out easy. It's coming. There we go. Cool on it. Looks like I didn't dent it, which is what I was kind of worried about, but it came out all right. There we go. Alright, now that the end cap is off here, there's 2 retaining pins that hold the nut in. Let's see, we can that circle right there. There's one on this side and one on the other side, so should hopefully be able to just punch them out. And again, I put some WD-40 there last night, so hopefully it got in there. Let's see. Moved. That's a good sign. Alright, I got the second pin pushed through, at least enough to get this nut out. So that pin's still in there, so I'm going to have to finagle it out of there. But alright, I got those pins out. Now I just need to stick a piece of wood down the inside and then hammer it through to get this end cap off. Well, I ended up buying a cheap sandblaster and it was just a piece of junk, so I just went back to using the wire wheel and going back all over this again. I think it's getting pretty good as far as for painting. I'll probably go over it again, but I cleaned up the dies on the bench grinder. I got some new screws for the dies. They were a little bit too big of a head on them, so I just ground them off on the bench grinders until they fit down in there. And also some new screws for that little horseshoe shaped piece. Oh, here it is. But probably paint tomorrow. Right now I'm just working on getting these cleaned up on the bench grinder. Well, I took the handle to the wire wheel also, or I guess angle grinder with the wire wheel, and cleaned up all these threads. I'll probably hit it again, but that's good enough for me. This thing's seen a lot of use, mostly for me, I think. So I think I will prepare to paint by reassembling some of the base. Alright, well, I got it pretty well wire wheeled off, and I got this end cap back in there lined up with those pins. So I'm just going to put the pins back in there. And the nut goes in there to line up with that. Let's see if we can get this in there. I felt that nut turn a little to line up with it, so that's good. Back in. This one went in a little bit too much, but that'll be alright. Alright, next is to put that little end cap on. I just kind of put it back together just to make sure everything was working, and it is, so that's good. Gonna be taping off some areas and get ready to paint. Well, I got them taped up, ready to paint. I just cleaned them with some acetone. So let's get that paint ready to rock. Let's do it. All right. Just kidding, I wasn't gonna do pink. This is pretty close to the original color though. So I'm just gonna go and do the first coat on these. Just let this dry for a little while and do a second coat. Alright, well, I got everything painted, and I'm gonna wait 24 hours. I got like 4 coats on it in about 2 to 3 hours, something like that. Buffed everything real good, all the silver pieces. Just gonna leave that tape on. Got the dyes nice and cleaned up. So just gotta keep my hands off of it until about noon tomorrow. So looking forward to putting it back together. Alright, well, it's been 24 hours. This paint drying. So let's take all this off and get it reassembled. Alright, so I'm just about to put this back together. I'm just going to put a little bit of grease along the, don't want too much. Put some on this key and around the shaft of this arm here. And just put some on the screw, again not too much. You can always add more later if you need to. Put just a little bit on the inside of this part because I could tell that metal had been grinding on itself. Just a little bit right in there. Okay. And we got that pivot piece in there. I just put a real light film of grease on all those contact points, so now we gotta get this on there. All these little adjustments. Alright, all done. All back assembled, completely overhauled. No issues really, except for having to replace those screws. But, should be good for another 60 years. I look forward to putting this thing to use. So, thanks for watching. Until next time.